So we're inside the engine room of the magnificent HMS Warrior down at Portsmouth's historic dockyard. Looking at it, it's enormous 5,200 horsepower steam engine, which is a twin cylinder trunk engine, which was a type of engine that had a great big tube right in the middle of the piston that allowed the connecting rod to move around. You see there's tubes, and that meant that the engine was able to have a longer stroke for a smaller width, which was ideal for putting in boats. So it was Penn and Son, there you are, engineers of Greenwich, that made it. So 5,200 horsepower. It only ran at about 22 psi of steam, but you'll remember that you're moving a piston of something like 110 inches in diameter. So absolutely enormous, really. But the actual trunk engine sort of engineering is really interesting. Here's a picture of how it moves, and you can see how the connecting rod is right there at the top of the piston, enabling to get more of a stroke for the size. And of course, what powered it? Coal. Huge amounts of it. Wow. So all these stokers had to put in these appalling conditions. Apparently it got to 50 degrees C in here, thanks to the History Hit channel for that. But you know, a ton an hour going into these enormous box boilers to provide the huge amounts of steam, and at flat out it would only do about 1,200 miles with all the coal it would have taken on board. But of course the trick of Warrior was it had a sail as well. It was a frigate, so when you put steam with the sail you could do 17 knots, and that speed wasn't beat for, you know, a good few decades, I don't think. Anyway, if you haven't been to Portsmouth Historical Dockyard, it's absolutely well worth a visit.